welcome back to another theme park vintage video. Today we're counting down the first part of the UK's best roller coasters in their own county. Now, there's an awful way of explaining it, but basically I've picked out the best coaster in each county. Obviously there's a lot, so I've split it into two videos. The next one will be out in a few days, probably a week maximum. Pretty big this video. I've got a lot of writing, I've not a lot of notes. On the basis of, I've got to remember 17 different counties here. There's 34 counties with roller coasters in England, not in the UK, but in England. And I'm doing 17 in each part, and I'll go over the best coaster in each of these first 17 counties. Obviously, because it's RCDB, I've gone off here, it's alphabetical order, so we'll go down. Obviously, there's some really good coasters in here, some pretty poor ones as well, because I'm surprised there's 34 counties with a roller coaster, which is quite impressive. So yes, we'll start off quite quickly. First of all is Berkshire. You know, known by many as a okay place for roller coasters. Obviously, the best in Berkshire is obviously at Legoland. There's only the three coasters in Berkshire are all here, and that is the Dragon, the WGH transportation ride that opened in 1998. There's surprisingly not many stats on RCDB about this coaster, but obviously WGH transportation aren't the most known for rides. I know they built Dragon's Apprentice also at Legoland Windsor, and they've built Spooky Express at Joyland in Great Yarmouth. Yeah, quite a short one, that one. Just a little family coaster, not too bad, not, you know. The next up is Buckinghamshire, which has, I believe, 3 different roller coasters. But when I looked on RCDB, being as I haven't been, I chose Twist and Shout, this EOS spinning coaster that opened in 2014 at the park. It looks like a bigger version of an SBS spinner. It doesn't look too bad actually. It looks like a solid family coaster and one I wouldn't mind riding. So yeah, that's Buckinghamshire. Cambridgeshire is next, and this is the poorest county on there. You see, I only included this because it's technically a coaster. It opened in 2010. It's a kids' fun park called, let me get this right because I'm not sure, Big Sky Soft Play. Now, there's literally no information about this coaster because I believe it's one of those places where you can only go as a kid. So you're not going to get many enthusiasts going there. I believe it's one of those. I believe it's the family coaster. There's like your liner tube. It's very much like Hero at Flamingo Land, but on a single one scale. It's just a family layout. Just glides around a little bit inside. But yeah, not sure about that. Might not still be open. Unsure. Next up is Cheshire, which has the Wriggler, which is just a Pinfari wacky worm that opened in 2015 at Gulliver's Warrington. Is there anything more to say? It's a wacky worm. Next up, we've got Cornwall. Now, this coaster is one I've personally ridden, and that's the Hornet, the Sierra Hornet coaster that owned in 1995 at Flambards. Now, this is actually a decent family coaster. It's nothing world class. Like, I don't think it's in my top 30 even, but it's still a really good junior family coaster. Not one that I could say anything good about or bad about really, it's just average. That's Cornwall. Next up is Derbyshire, and that's the only coaster in the county there is the log coaster at Gulliver's Matlock Bath. Opened in 1986, so it's quite an old coaster now. I've never rode it, even though I've been to the park once, because we went for the Christmas event, which meant it closed over winter. It wasn't a great park day that day, haven't been back to Gulliver's since, only went one day to Gulliver's out of the 3. Out of my recommendations, Milton Keynes does look by far the best. Now, before I move on, people would say Antelope on Cheshire. There was issues on RCDB finding that, so Antelope is clearly best in Cheshire, but we'll move on. Devon is the next county. Devon has Rampage and quite a few other pretty decent sized coasters. It's a Sierra Custom Tivoli is Rampage, owned in Metroland quite a long time ago. Stored in Blackpool, then moved to here. The 2016 season was called the Big One at first, I believe, but now called Rampage. Big Sheep looks like a decent park if you're down there and you fancy a go on a coaster. Can't say anything bad about it. It's not a bad coaster, just a decent, quite lengthy family coaster actually. Now that's Devon. Dorset's up next, and we've got Wild Bill's Runaway Train, which is again the only coaster in the county, I believe. It opened in 2004 at Adventure Wonderland. It looks like it's a little kiddie coaster. It's just like a bit bigger than a wacky worm. It's up to you if you want to go ride it if you're down there. Next up is the East Ridings of Yorkshire. Now, I would have got on this coaster if it wasn't for certain issues. This was a long time ago. I wanted This was like 5-6 years ago, so I might not have, we'll see. But yes, this is a crazy caterpillar. Well, hey, opened in 2012 at the Bayside Fun Park. It's a wacky worm, what more can I say? In the other video, there is some better coasters. The first half of this list isn't the best. But we'll move East Sussex. Another coaster I've actually ridden here, and that's Turbo, the Pinfari Looper that opened in 1996 on Brighton Pier. Now, everyone hates about Pinfari Loopers being rough, uncomfortable, not the best, not the worst. You know, everyone can debate. I really enjoy them. I think they're solid coasters. They're a bit rough around the edges, but it gives it personality, and it's really fun, really enjoyable, and you get a kick out of it. It's not a bad coaster at all, not one I'd say that's not very good, I wouldn't say it's that's awful, but you know, it's a solid family coaster. I mean, if you're looking for a first throw looping coaster, go for it, it'd be a laugh. Next up is Essex, which is Rage at Adventure Island, obviously, to go to a Eurofighter that opened in 2007. Didn't realise it was that old. Now I'm hoping to get down to Adventure Island the next couple of years. Looks like a good family park. Got quite a few different roller coasters there, and Rage is the standout. Looks really good. Got a few inversions on there, a few different airtime points. Not much more to say, I don't think. It's not the worst coaster in Europe. It's not the best either. Like in the park, it's a standout attraction with Atlas as second. But I gotta be honest, it looks like it could match up against Saw, and Rage at Oakwood. Obviously Wales and Scotland aren't included in this video because I haven't been to any parks there. But yes, that's Essex, is Rage. Now next up is Greater London. Now this is Vampire because Chessington Mud Adventures classes Greater London. We've got Vampire, Rattlesnake, Scorpion Express and Dragon's Fury as the four coasters in Greater London. Now I do think Vampire and Dragon's Fury are very close, but Vampire takes it for me. Very good family coaster, really good first family thrill coaster there. Not much more to say. Really, really good layout. Long, classic John Wadley design. What more could you want with a family coaster? 2 lift hills, that tunnel section is very intense, very good. But yeah, that's Greater London. So next up we have, I've completely lost where I was, I apologise. We have Hampshire, which is obviously which is Paulson's Park and Clarence Pier, the 2 main contenders here. Obviously I've been to Clarence Pier and rode the two coasters there. Tidal Wave and Mad Mouse are both really good family coasters, but Paulson's Park has the better coasters at the end of the day. Velociraptor and Flight of the Pterosaur. Flight of the Pterosaur is the best currently operating coaster, but I have chosen Storm Chaser because people have ridden it. It tests a lot. It's meant to open in just over a month's time. And at the end of the day, that looks like the best coaster in the county by far. One of the best family coasters in the UK. Quite a family, I'd say family thrill coaster actually. It's quite a large coaster. Looks really good. Obviously made by Mac, the family version, not the extreme version, which we really hoped for. But yes, that's Hampshire as Storm Chaser. Next up is the Isle of Wight, where I was going to ride one of the. I've ridden one of the coasters. I was going to ride the second, but never had a chance. And the one I haven't ridden is the best one, and that's Cliffhanger at Blackgang Chine, which opened in 2005. It's an IE Park family coaster, I think. Really good views over the bay and obviously into the English Channel. If you like your picturesque views on a coaster, good location, one for you there. Not much more to say again, as I always say, very family-based coaster. Now in Kent, we have the Scenic Railway, which operated since 1920 at Dreamland Margate. It's a nice classic wooden coaster here. One of 2, I believe, Scenic Railways in the UK, the other one being Rollercoaster at Gate Yard Pleasure Week, which I really love. So I'd love to get on this at some point. Obviously Kent in the next few years could really spruce up if the London Resort does open and get some really good attractions down there. Great new rides, great new thrill coasters. Hopefully this will all happen, it will go ahead. But yes, that's Kent, which is the Scenic Railway at Dreamland. Then on to the final 2 here, we've got Lancashire, which is, I know I hate on it so much, don't moan at me there, but Icon, the Mac multi-launch coaster opened in 2018 at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Looks like the best. Big one second, was a close contender, but yes. Icon looks the thing. Looks like a good top 10 coaster. Can't wait to get on it. 2 launches, debatably 2 inversions, good airtime, good S-bends, good pacing throughout. Yeah, that's Lancashire and Icon. Then the final county is Leicestershire, and this is another county that I've completed all the coasters in. They're all at Twin Lakes theme park, which was a good place I went quite a few times as a child. Went last year as a sort of just before COVID as a throwback, because before they changed the policy, so I can now still go. But yes, Buffalo Stampede, the Zamperla powered coaster, has a history and a half. It used to operate at American Adventure in Derbyshire, but then got relocated to Twin Lakes in 2007. It's a really good family coaster, really good kiddie coaster, and I just wish it was still at the American Adventure, because it would have been still a good park even. Still a really good coaster and a great coaster for the park at Twin Lakes. It's keeping them going. Rum Runner was a great new addition a couple of years ago, same as the Starflyer. Obviously they got the wacky worm there as well. But Buffalo Stampede takes it. And I think that's all for part 1 of the UK's best roller coasters in each county ranked. That's not going to be the title of the video, don't worry, you'll have seen. So that was a mouthful. But yes, thank you all for watching. Part 2 will be up soon. Can't wait to share it with you. Hope you enjoyed the videos last week. Big up for watching. Thank you all. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.